Let's be real, watch sizes matter. But I see way too many people wearing watches that are either way too big or way too small for their wrists. And I get it, most people don't even think about it while getting a watch. But trust me, once you get the right size, it changes everything. So today we are fixing that. I will show you how to measure your wrist, what watch options will be great for you, and a few watch recommendations. Let's start. Before we even think about watches, let's figure out your wrist size. This is super simple, and once you know it, you will never second guess your watch size again. All you need is a measuring tape. Just wrap it around your wrist, right above the wrist bone, because that's where your watch will sit. If you don't have a measuring tape, no worries. Just use a piece of string, wrap it around, mark it where it meets, and then measure that against a ruler. It's just that simple. Now once you have your wrist size, here's a simple guide to pick the right watch size. If your wrist is below 6 inches, that is 15.2 centimeters, stick to watches between 34 and 36 This will sit best and won't overpower your wrist. If your wrist is between 6 and 6.75 inches, that is 15.2 centimeters to 17.1 centimeters, 36 to 38 is usually perfect. This size keeps the watch looking balanced without being too big or too small. In my personal experience, a few 40 watches also do look good on this wrist. If your wrist is between 6.75 and 7.5 inches, that is 7.1 centimeters to 19 centimeters, the sweet spot is 38 to 40 This is a great all-rounder size that works well for most wrists. If your wrist size is above 7.5 inches, that is 17 centimeters and above, you can go for 40 or 42 and above. But be careful with watches that have long lugs, because they can make the watch look even bigger than it is. Once you know your wrist size, picking a watch becomes so much easier. But size isn't just about the case diameter. There are other details that can change how watch wears on your wrist. And that's exactly what we are looking into right now. First off, lug-to-lug distance. This is the real deal. It's the distance from one lug to the other, and it should always be equal to or less than your wrist width. A 40 watch with long lugs might feel bigger than a chunky 42 watch with shorter lugs. Then case thickness. If a watch is too thick, it might feel top heavy and uncomfortable. Ideally, you want something between 10 to 12 for daily wear, maximum 12.5 And strap choice matters too. Leather straps make the watch look smaller, while metal straps or NATO straps can make them feel bigger. A 40 dress watch and a 40 diver won't look exactly the same on your wrist, and here's why. Dress watches, because of their thin bezels and minimal designs, they actually wear larger than their size suggests. A 38 dress watch might feel like a 40 sports watch. Dive watches, these have chunky bezels, so they actually look smaller. In some cases, a 42 dive watch can feel like a 40 watch. And then the pilot and field watches. These are designed for readability, so they are often bigger. If you have a small wrist, even a 38 field watch might look large. India is diverse, and so are our wrist sizes. But one thing I have noticed is that people here prefer big chunky watches, whether it be a dress watch or an utility watch. I always see 44 and 45 watches on people who shouldn't be wearing them. A well-fitted watch will always look better, classier, and more versatile than an oversized one. That's why for most wrists in India, the sweet spot is 40 or 38 Now let's get to the fun part. Some great watch recommendations for smaller to medium wrists. Let's start with the Tissot PRX, especially the 35 It's actually a decent size and fits perfectly. It comes in two variations. One is the quartz and the second is the in-house Powermatic 80 movement. On the other side, the 40 one is very odd in my opinion. The fixed end links make it feel way bigger than it should, and on smaller wrists, it just looks awkward. So if you have smaller wrists, definitely the PRX 35 is the way to go. These 35 watches are around 35,000 rupees for quartz and around 60 to 70,000 rupees for the Powermatic 80, that is the automatic movement. Next, the Seiko Alpinist, the most unique watch in my opinion on this list. With the rotating compass bezel inside the watch, it will always be a conversation starter. Plus at 39.5 it fits most wrists really well. And for around 65,000 rupees, you are getting a beautiful green dial that just pops in the light. And if you want something that stands out without being too loud, this is a great pick. It also comes with a reliable 6R35 movement. Then the Seiko 5 series. There is no way we cannot mention this series. the Seiko SRPK97 and the SSK 035 especially. Probably the only watch series which is biggest on the paper, that is 42.5 mm, but fits like a 40 mm on the wrist. All because of that 46 mm lug-to-lug. This watch comes with a reliable 4R36 or the 4R34 moment. Then just freshly in the Citizen Suyosa 37 mm and also the 40 mm. I love this watch. This watch is a killer package. Solid movement, great dial, and a design that's heavily inspired from the Rolex Oyster Calls. So basically all perfect. The 40 mm on the Suyosa honestly fits better than the Tissot PRX 40 mm. My only problem with this watch is the presidential bracelet. It doesn't really match the flat brushed case. But for the price, especially considering it has a sapphire crystal, it's still one of the best options in the 30,000 to 40,000 rupees range. And the other option with slight price increase is the Forza. It's 40 mm in case diameter and comes in all body super titanium. If you are able to find this watch, it's one of the best watches out there which are recently launched. You can get this watch for around 57,000 to 58,000 rupees here in India. And if you are looking for something less expensive, there is the Timex Marlin series and also the Curie issues. Both come in 38 mm and 40 mm and they fit really well on the wrist. They are not super premium, but for the price, they have got a lot of charm and comfort. Now before you go out and buy a watch, here's the most important thing. See if the watch really fits your wrist. If the lugs stick out past your wrist and the watch slides around too much, it's too big for you. Find a watch that sits comfortably on your wrist, the lugs don't overhang, and the strap feels secure. Alright, that's it. Hopefully, now you know exactly how to find the right watch for your wrist. If this helped, hit the like button, subscribe, and let me know in the comments what's your wrist size and what watch you're rocking right now. See you in the next one.